Transferring Pokemon has always been something of a signature feature for this series. They've always made a point of making it available. For the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 games, you could literally just trade Pokemon between the two. And ever since Gen 3, there's always been a path forward for transferring all of your Pokemons. A lot of my Pokemons I'm using right now playing Scarlet and Violet are Pokemon from Gen 3, from Emerald, XD, and Colosseum. And that feels nice. I do having my little guys in the most modern games. But something that they always try to make available, like a lot of services like Bank Pokemon, Pokemon Home, Poke Transporter, and a lot of features within the games itself, it's kind of not really logical. Here's the thing. There are things baked into the main Pokemon, like formula, that make it harder to actually transfer your Pokemon. And that is making me question, why even make it available? Here's the thing. All of my Pokemons I'm transferring are level 100 because, as you can imagine, I've played these Pokemon for 12 games now. They got the chance to be level 100. And when I wanted to get them into Scarlet and Violet, now I have level 100 Pokemon at the start of my adventure. First off, I can't really use them because they would disobey my every move for a while until I get all of the gym badges. And second off, if I could use them, they would kind of decimate everything and not make it fun because these games still do not scale the levels. And I think that's kind of stupid. Even the DLC so far, Scarlet and Violet, has not caught up to my level. My Gallade still solos every fight. And I think that's kind of a shame. So, transferring Pokemon doesn't exactly work if what you're looking for is experiencing a new game with your old Pokemon. Because you pretty much have to wait until the 8th gym. And at this point, there's not much game left for you to experience. And otherwise, you have to do the game with your Pokemon not recognizing you and not obeying you. And if you wait, then you just simply don't have a lot of game to experience. So, yeah, it's not for this purpose. And the second purpose that it had originally was in relationship to gen or game exclusive moves. An example I like to give was that event exclusive Rayquaza in Gen 5 that had Recreate. Transferring that felt good. Obviously, I didn't get it in a very legitimate way, but I got a hold of it and I transferred it and I felt good by myself. But that's not exactly a thing anymore. See, when you move Pokemons up until basically the 3DS gens, so Gen 7, that works. That absolutely works. But as soon as they get into the land of Pokemon Home actually tracks movesets per game. So you'll basically have your Pokemon Bank moveset, which is the base moveset for your Pokemon. And each time you move your Pokemon into a new game, they reset their moves to the level of moves for the level that you transfer them at. So you can't easily transfer Pokemons with exclusive moves because they will be displayed in Pokemon Home. And that's pretty much it. And if I recall, it didn't used to work that way. How it used to work is that whichever game you transfer to, they keep their moves. And if that move is not available in the game, then it's just not available. It's here. You can see it in the menu. And it's just oh, this move cannot be used. Please forget this move. Once you forget this move, you won't be able to remember this move. And as much as I like having the ability to get a moveset per game, especially for games like Legends Arceus, which works very differently from the other games, and so you have different needs. I think that's kind of stupid that it resets your move to level up, and the main argument I could see for this is it's for competitive Pokemon. Except no, because for competitive, you can actually reset your Pokemon to the level up moves to get the battle ready symbol. So, yeah, it's just because they cut moves from the games, and so they don't want you to see this ugly mess, I guess. I don't know, it's stupid. So, transferring Pokemon isn't good for experiencing new Pokemon games with your old mons. It's not good for transferring old Pokemon with the old quirks from old games to new ones. So what exactly is it good for? I don't know. I legit don't know. What's the deal? And that's so strange to me because it's, again, such a signature thing from the franchise. I'm guessing you get to experience the new battle thingy, the battle towers, your battle whatevers, your Academy Ace tournaments, depending on the game. But those are so less exciting than they used to be. Again, the Battle Frontier, as much as I don't like how it's done, it's at least more exciting than just doing a bunch of battles. And the Pokemon War Tournament from Gen 5, that was legitimately one of the moments I felt good about transferring my Pokemon, because you get to fight all of those people you fought before in Gen 5 with your team that you gathered through generations. That was literally one of the peak moments I felt when I've done this little journey that I do, which was basically transferring Pokemon from Gen 3 to currently Gen 9. I'm currently playing through Gen 9. Yeah, I would like them to change that, if you please. One of the easiest ways would be to implement, again, level scaling in those games. That would be very good. And I'm not saying that like the first gym should be able to reach level 100. At least have a fork of levels you can reach within, like, oh, this gym is level 12, but it can scale up to level 20. Or maybe level 15. I don't know, something. Just so that would be good for transferring Pokemon, but also in general, let's be honest. Or maybe you should be able to level down Pokemon. Here's the thing, it already tracks the movesets. So I think it should be able to track levels separately per game. Like, let's say you have 4 gym badges, you can train Pokemon up to level 30 or 35, I don't know, let's say 35. And you go and transfer a Pokemon that's level 100, then you should have the option or the obligation to have your Pokemon capped at that level. Basically, they can't perform, quote unquote, to the level 100 power because they're not exactly listening to you, so they quote unquote false capped at level 35 until you get more gym badges. That would also solve the problem. And otherwise, I won't say let's not make transfer available because it's not logical. Here's the thing, if you're gonna do it, at least make it make sense. That's all I'm asking. Just make it make sense. One of the things that's a bit paradoxical with transferring Pokemon is that it doesn't exactly promote interacting with the newest Pokemon, and that is kind of a shame. And that's also why I understand why it sort of works that way, because you can basically only transfer your Pokemon once you've gotten your starters from the new region, once you've gotten through the gyms, so once you've assembled the team, leveled up that team, interacted with that team, evolved that team. But it does feel a little bad, in my opinion. There are things to do with the Pokemon franchise and the Pokemon formula in general, and this is probably not in the priorities for anyone except me, so I get it, but I would like to see them interact a bit with it. But there is Pokemon Champions, so we're gonna have a game in which transferring is available. It's just a game without any story whatsoever. We're gonna have a game in which transferring is available and logical and would work out of the box, even if it's a VGC game with no story whatsoever, so, you know. I'm being somewhat mean, but, you know, at least if we get more quote-unquote Pokemon experiences that we can transfer to, I'll be also happy. Obviously, you can transfer from or to Pokemon Sleep, and I'm very disappointed about that. You can transfer from Pokemon Go, but not to Pokemon Go, and I'm also a bit disappointed about that. Pokemon Let's Go is weird, like, legitimately. Basically, how it works is that you can transfer from and to Pokemon Let's Go, and from Pokemon Go to Let's Go. But once a Pokemon from Let's Go is in Pokemon Home, they basically hold their Pokemon Let's Go passport until they reach a classic game or Legends Arceus. And if they do, they can never go back to Pokemon Let's Go. I don't know why it works that way. I mean, I kind of know why it works that way. It's because Pokemon Let's Go uses different values. So it has to basically translate your Pokemon Let's Go Pokemon to a format that can be used by the classic games and that can be used in Legends Arceus. Even though Legends Arceus also has different things, it doesn't have EVs, it also does things separately. I don't know. And again, you keep up like records of this movesets per different game, and you're gonna tell me you can't hold one additional set of stats for Pokemon Let's Go? I wouldn't be this mad if it was a free service, because then I would be like, okay, it's just a bit of data, but it's a bit of data for a lot of Pokemon for a guy that's not even paying for the service. But we are paying for this to get any kind of real storage capacity, because there's 1,000 Pokemon. To get any kind of real storage capacity, you have to pay for this, right? So I don't think it's fair anymore to be that stingy on the data you're ready to store for me if I'm paying for your fucking hard drive. But yeah, was this a rant? I don't know. What am I doing?